Did it make you sad to leave Baylor?
No, it's time to go. In spite of everything that I'm telling you about how successful we were, it wasn't without problems. And for whatever reason, there were people in the administration who didn't take all this well and began to give us problems. And we would be they were second thinking. It was during the Vietnam War. There were strong feelings about the war. We reported on what students were doing. We reported on things, and we had editorials. And a lot of times it rubbed the administrators the wrong way, particularly Herb Reynolds. And I think slowly they realized a change needed to be made. And so that's why you see Reynolds dismissing 2 faculty members and then overlooking Harry not once but twice for being chairman when he should have been the chairman. And so it got to be time to go.
Do you have any regrets?
Oh, we could start all over, and I'd regret you all day on regrets. Yeah, yeah, regrets. I have a few. I have more than a few. But you know, that's the way it is with everything. We just keep going, make the most of it.
How do you want to be remembered?
Oh, I'm not even. I don't know. I don't just. I'm not sure. I can't answer.
Well, I've read a lot that you were considered a very, very tough teacher. Are you okay with that?
Oh yeah.
Description?
I mean, well, it's a tough business, you know. So I might have been a tough teacher, but I got them ready. Listen, we had a whole bunch of people who were went to work for UPI. So many, 7 or 8, 9 people that went to work, and then several who went. You know, we had a guy who covered Vietnam for a woman that was there when I left. Sharon Herbaugh died in Iraq working for the AP. And, you know, it's not an easy business, so yeah, you had to be ready to deal with it. Mike Kennedy, who became a foreign correspondent and was in Iraq, in Lebanon for 3 years for the Los Angeles Times. Think about that. You know, you got to be prepared for that.
Are you hopeful or worried about the state of the news media today?
No, I'm very hopeful. I'm very hopeful. We're going to have to get over this period of people not thinking it's important or not thinking that the freedom of expression is important. But when we get over that period, and we'll be okay.
What's your advice to young journalists?
It's harder now to get, you know, the period we're talking about, the 60s, you could graduate from Baylor and go to work for AP in Durham, North Carolina, or Atlanta, Georgia. Dallas Lee went to work in Atlanta, Georgia for the AP. It's harder now. If you're going to be in traditional journalism, it's not traditional journalism. It's more. There are more opportunities in different things than there used to be. You know, online type things than they used to be. So, if you're going to have a career, you're going to have to kind of work your way up. There are people. There are a couple of people here who are still working. Dale Robertson, who works at the Chronicle, got out of the University of Houston and went to work at the Houston Post. You can't do that anymore. Well, there's no Houston Post, but it's going to take a more gradual rise, I think.
How has your life been different than what you imagined?
I'm the luckiest. I'm the Lou Gehrig of my generation. I'm the luckiest guy. You know, neither of my parents graduated from high school. Think about that. And in a time, I was born in '33. See, at a time when things, you know, you couldn't foresee what was going to happen. We were lucky to move to a good town, Spindale, North Carolina, and I went to a good high school. And things could have been different. Things could have been different and all along the way. At any given time, things could have changed. If I hadn't made this one friend, Bill McCormick, who went to Baylor and told me about Dave Campbell, if I hadn't met Grover Andrews, and you see, there's so many things that happen just, you think by chance, you know. But things fell into place for me. I was able to go to New York because I was introduced to the guy who was the public relations guy from the American Baptist Convention by a guy who had been a public relations director at Baylor and had left, and he introduced me, and it led to a job. So I moved from Waco to New York for work when I got out of college. Most people can't do that, you know. So there's a lot of things that were just total chance along the way.